Welcome back to my studio. I'm Yvette Mecca. Let's go. Welcome to the 2-for-1 journal series. Now it is time to add the covers to the base of our journals. So we have selected our papers, maybe fabric or cardstock, but here we're going to use some cardstock. I have 2 different prints, and I'm just sizing them up just to make sure that this is what I want to use. Here I'm adding fabric tack to the outside of the cover, making sure I get edge to edge and a generous amount of the glue. Once I've done so, I'm going to place the cover on the paper opposite side as you see, leaving a border around the edge of the base. Time to smooth out those air bubbles. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Now that both sides are covered, front and back, I've smoothed out all my air bubbles. I'm going to cut off the corners as you see here. With my fancy tool, I'm going to go along the outside edge of the base of the journal. Doing so allows the paper to fold over easily as I'm turning it to the inside of the journal. I'll do this for all of the flaps. And now I'm going to add double-sided adhesive tape to all of the flaps as well. Once I'm done, I'm going to add glue to give me extra support and adhesive. We have all of the flaps turned into the inside of the journal. Therefore, the outside of our journal is complete for now. Time to focus on the inside. I'm going to add some inking around the edges of the panels for the inside. But before I adhere them, let's add some fabric, shall we? The fabric strip that I'm adding will be adhered to the outside of the cover as well as the inside of the cover, down the spine, I should note. When I add the fabric to the inside of the spine, I like to make sure that I put enough adhesive down the wales of the spine so that the fabric has something to grab hold of to. Notice the masking tape. Make sure you cover as much of it as you can. I've noticed that doing so in the beginning allows me to use less paper as a result. Time to add those inside panels. I'm going to the furthest of the cover. I'm going to the furthest of the base, and I'm going to make sure I smooth out all of my edges and any air bubbles. Okay. Looking good. I think we're on our way to call her complete. I'm going to set it aside for now so that it can completely dry. Wait, there's more. This is a 2-for-1 journal series, remember? Can't forget about our counter partner. It's time to rinse and repeat. What was done to the first base, we'll apply that here. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit because I'm confident that you know what you're doing by now. All right, it's time to add our fabric strip to the outside of the spine as well as the inside. As gorgeous as this fabric is, unfortunately, I changed my mind. I have a better idea. Let's use some cardstock for now. I want to give the journal an opportunity to close easily, so I'm going to make some indentions where this cardstock is in the wells. So that's what I'm doing here. Now it's time to focus on the inside. Before we add the next set of panels, let's add our closure. With the options being endless, I had to choose something. As you can see, I definitely wanted to use a ribbon, and I was comparing red to green and looking at the cover. What would you prefer? Would you prefer more green or would you prefer more red? So I went with red. I wanted to make those berries pop. I'm lining the ribbon up with the spine, and I'm making sure I have enough on both sides of the panels so that I'm able to close and make a bow. As you know, I absolutely love the use of masking tape. So that's what we're going to use here. We're just going to lay this ribbon flat and make sure that it is down with the masking tape. So remember, we switched from the fabric to using cardstock. Because of that, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with the inside. We're going to use a book page. I'm using double-sided tape and I'm going to apply some to the page itself as well as the spine. Now remember, when using the masking tape, I always try to cover it as much as possible. So I'm going to do the same here, but with the double-sided tape as well as with some fabric tack. Now that both panels are attached, I'm going to give it a little twist and a little bend and a little wiggle. Wait, there's more. Can't forget about our sidekick. Now, although she will not be getting a tied closure, let's add this fun little gadget that will allow us to hang our dangles and our ribbons from the spine of the journal. From the top of the spine, I'm going to come down about a ½ inch. See the prongs, the feet, I call them? I'm going to measure that ½ inch down, and I'm going to use my handy dandy crocodile from back who knows when. And I'm going to line it up with that marking that I just made. Can you see that there? Make sure that it is centered as possible. And just like that, we have a hole. So with this little gadget, I'm going to stick it inside of that hole. But before I do so, I want to add some of this fabric tack. Just a little dab here and just a little dab there. But first, let's get those glue boogers. Now that we've got her inside, we're going to give her a little twist so that it lines up north and south. See the feet? I'm just going to, with my finger, flip her right on open. Again, north and south, up and down, parallel with the journal spine. I could have brought it down a little bit lower. Again, this was a last minute decision that I made because I would have put this in prior to the fabric, but I'm going to show you a little trick just so we can hide these feet. All you do in a situation like this, I'm going to add some of that fabric tack. And I've decided that I want to use this red ribbon and I'm going to cover it. But see how I'm adhering it to the top of the journal spine? I'm going to make sure I have enough fabric tack so that it is laid down all the way. Now that it is laid down and it is secured, I'm going to give it a flip and let that ribbon come straight on down my spine. We have our page holder with our little ribbon. We're going to snip it and burn it later. But look, we have our gadget now. It holds all of our tassels. And that's a wrap. We've come to the end of part 2 of our series. So far in the series, you have learned how to break down a cracker box, add a cover and closure, and a gadget to hold your tassels. Join me for part 3 of the series, where I'll show you how to add a signature to your journals that you can apply to any journal that you make in the near future. Thank you again for hanging out with me. It was so much fun. I'll see you in part 3. Peace.